Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today, in deck number 377, we're going to talk about Silas, Renn, Seeker, Adept, or as I like to call him, Tribal Strixes. Yeah, just kidding. There's only three. Anyway, 2-2 Death Touch. I actually decided to build this guy solo without a partner because I thought it was so cool enough. His ability, when it deals combat damage to a player, you get to get an artifact back, and, well, you get recast it. So it doesn't, automatically come back into play or anything. And is it just me, or is that name sound like he was voted most likely to be a Sith Lord in high school? I don't know. Silas Renn sounds like a Sith Lord. Anyway, so we have to have artifacts that go to the graveyard. I'm not playing with KCI, mainly because I would if I had one. It was one of the first first binders I went to. I'm not going to lie, but it would have been sweet. But we had to make do. So let's look at our ramp, if you will. So, Wayfarer's Bauble, it is an artifact. It does sacrifice itself, and it does ramp you for mana. So, but let's go through our Demir stuff. Of course, we have the Locket, the Clue Stone, the Signet, Talisman, Border Post. I'm even running the two mirrors, silver and leaden. The Ethereum Sculptor is going to obviously make everything cheaper, as well as the Jorah's Familiar is. And Historic is kind of most of our deck is Historic because we're dealing with artifacts here. So, but as far as making sure he deals combat damage, that's where I'm pretty weak at. Believe it or not, I just found out that I'm out of Whisper Silk Cloak, so I have to remedy that. I am running, y'all know me, the good old fashioned Rogue's Passage, so there's two ways he can be unblockable. But yeah, that's probably, but I don't know. So next, we have got my next category here is artifacts that put themselves in the graveyard just by using them, kind of like the Bauble did. We have the Spell Bomb, which, hey, it nukes a graveyard and you can pay a black to draw a card. So the Courier's Capsule, just drawing two cards. The Astrolabe. I like this because you can sack any artifact to draw a card. And it's got to be a Dimir deck, right? Now, the Unstable Obelisk, destroy target permanent, kind of really close to the Universal Solvent. Executioner's Capsule is pretty much the same way. Now, Pit Trap. Pit Trap, I really love. It was originally way back, I want to say Ice Age, but I picked this one simply because it's white border, and I was lacking white border in the deck. So, but to destroy any creature that's attacking you without flying, that's not bad. Okay, now we're going to kind of get to the Canada part of this where I leave the reservation a little bit. Time Bomb, right? Okay. Yeah, it takes a while to build back up, but if somebody tries to pop it, you just pop it, and each creature and each player take that much damage. I've won games with Time Bomb. Now, I'm not going to lie, it has not been in the past 20 years, but I have won games with Time Bomb. Grinning Totem, heck of an artifact to get back. Right? You can cast it. You just keep, you know. Jester's Mask. Now, my playgroup has not played Kingdoms in quite some time, and I don't know why that is. It's just kind of, I don't know. I don't know why. But this This is essentially a king-making card. You can either you can give somebody a great hand or a terrible hand or a hand that you can play into or around or whatever. Um, if that enchantment player is dominating the board, you can give somebody else all their enchantment hate. I mean, it's this card doesn't get played enough, I don't think. And yes, 5 mana to cast and 1 to activate is quite a bit, but the ability in this deck to reuse it over and over, eh. Now the Jester's Cap would also be cool too, to just keep just getting cards out of their library. I couldn't think of what the term was at that moment. Now, Snake Basket. How are we going to win? We're going to win with green creatures in our Demir deck. Heck yeah, because that's how we roll. You spend the mana, sack the basket, get the tokens, put them, attack with your homeboy, get the basket back, because it never fails. I am guilty. I have played with Snake Basket since Visions. I love it. Y'all know y'all seen it in several decks. Was it in the last deck? I think it may have been. Last deck was tokens, maybe? I recorded that deck like 10 minutes ago, and I can't remember it. Anyway. So, the problem I have with Snake Basket is I get greedy. I just I want to wait, and I want to wait, because the longer you wait, the more mana you got, and then you can just, because you can do it at instant speed, and, instant speed, blah, here's all my snakes, do some blocks. It's crazy, right? But anyway, now you can get it back. Yeah, I ain't got to be greedy now. I can just do it all the time. Now, Merchant's Dockhand is a beautiful card here. We're playing with a ton of artifacts. Now, granted, this is a end of turn before you card. It totally is. You're not going to do all this in your main phase. God, I hope not, because, whoa, just a tap. I'm going to tap my board. I don't have an unwinding clock, but I'm going to do it anyway. Now, this is really sick with the clock. I have 1 clock, and I've got it reserved for Padim. That deck's coming along quite nicely. I was able to get me a foil Mox and Lattice for it, so that's kind of where that went. And hey, my wife is teasing me by showing me some of the Christmas presents that she bought me, and when they are coming, they're amazing, by the way. All magic kind of channel related stuff. Submergence Dockhand, it filters. Now, Aetherworks Marvel is the only energy producing card we have in here, but we have so many cards that we are sacrificing. We have so many permanents going to the graveyard. So it feeds itself. It's not bad. Yeah, maybe I could have worked it a little more, but I don't know. It's a fun slot. Thopter Spy Network, you're just going to get free Thopters. And, of course, efficient construction. Whenever you cast an artifact, you're going to get a Thopter. Fly. Oh, I'm sorry. I teased y'all with tribal Strixes, didn't I? There are 3 Strixes in the game of Magic, and here they all are. Parasitic Strix comes into play. I mean, it doesn't really, per se, except you can sack it and keep playing it, to make a player lose 2 life and gain. Then we have the Tide Hollow Strix, because it's a beast and kills anything when it blocks. And then the Baleful Strix. Now, Baleful Strix, here again, when you play it, it draws the card. And let's face it, we all know what Strixes do best. Strixes hold equipment. That's what they do. You won't see any swords of something in here, but the cranial plating on any one of those little cheap flying guys, I mean, this could potentially be a very quick. I mean, if you get those in your opening hand and as many artifacts as we're running, wow, it could become a problem to the table really quick. I'm thinking the Fire Shrieker is the only other equipment that I run. And the reason why I'm running Fire Streaker is because when you equip it to our general, he's going to deal combat damage twice, you know, first strike damage and regular strike. So you get to get 2 artifacts back. You know, you can pick a different one each time. Mirror works, just, you know, let's copy all my artifacts. By the way, these are from here on out. I mean, there's no particular order. We're just going to take them as they come. I didn't. Fairy Machinist, Mechanist, I don't know. You know, a little card selection. Keeper of the Keys. What is this doing in there? Just because I want to draw that extra card at the end of turn. And, you know, it does kind of help Silas not be blocked. And by the way, keeping with the Silas Renn being a Sith joke, now this guy looks like a Sith Lord. Filigree Familiar, hey, he helps you coming and a going. So when you're recasting him, you know, if you've just got to get back up on life and, you know, sacking him, you're drawing cards. Salvage Slasher, +1 for each artifact in your yard. Hey, not bad. Glaze Fiend, Flying. Contraband Kingpin, you get to scry 1 whenever you get an artifact. Skill Borrower, okay, she's pretty good. It really hurt me that I didn't have an original Cathodon. But I mean, this is a really good rate. 3 for 3, and when it dies, you get 3. Although a lot of times you lose that 3 colorless when it dies because it happens at a time where you can't cast artifacts. But you know, if we're sacking stuff, yeah, we can probably do that. Chief of the Foundry, of course, is going to make all of our dudes a little bit bigger. Our Military Sphere, it's a artifact that sacks itself to get some basic lands. Of course, Disciple of the Vault, we got to have that. Spine of Isha. Spine of Isha made me want that little artifact chick that bounces an artifact and you can put another artifact back in to loop it. Because that, I love that looping thing. And by the way, if you just want to hear Aaron Campbell just get giddy, that'll do it. Claws of Gix. Sharding Sphinx. Got some, you know, a few creatures here now. It's getting some more Thopters. Inkwell Leviathan, because what? It's 7/11 Trample Island Walk Shroud. Happens to be an artifact, so. The Inkwell Leviathan is the card that brings out the board wipes on the table, so the ability to replay it is not bad. Now let's look at Priest of Yawgmoth. Yeah, we're going to go back in time here. So you tap it, sack an artifact to get mana. Black mana equal to the artifact CMC. Huh. Okay. This is a mana dork in black that lets you sack artifacts. Now, Sage of Latnam, same set. By the way, that was the most focused set ever. You tap to draw a card. You tap, sack an artifact to draw a card. So there's another sack outlet. And then, of course, we have Xenic Poltergeist. Now, Xenic Poltergeist kind of made me... that Miles of the Lattice I really, really wanted. Because with Miles of the Lattice and Xenic Poltergeist, you start popping their lands. You tap to kill a land, tap to kill a land. And that's... yeah. But... Noxious Gearhulk. Artifact, you know, hey. And 187's a creature. Tezzeret the Schemer, you know, obviously works very, very well with artifacts. You know, like every single ability works with artifacts. The Hex Parasite just take care of these opposing, I say planeswalkers, but it's everything. Anything with a counter. Remove X counters from target permanent? What? It costs 1 mana? Yeah. Duplicate, y'all know this. We use it more for removal than anything else. Salvage Titan. Here's a big 6/4 that you can, that kind of has a sack outlet in it. So, Sahili's Artistry is going to make some tokens. You can tell I had tacos for lunch today. Diabolic Tutor, just good old-fashioned utility, as is Counterspell, Argivian Restoration, bringing something back. Meteor Golems, that's pretty decent to recast. Evidently, have you noticed 7 mana is the colorless rate that they're willing to give us for Destroy Target Permanent? Of course, this one says non-land, but you get a 3/3 left over. Magos' Wellspring, Stolen Identity. Now, I really want to encode this on... God, was that not just a butchery of words of that ability? That ability took 6 lines to communicate what it did to us, or did for us. So, yeah. Anyway, last creature is Yawgmoth Demon. You know, nobody plays this guy a lot, and to be honest with you, it's been years since I've played him because he's typically considered bad. 6 mana for 6/6, but he does fly, and he does have first strike. And during your upkeep, you get to sacrifice an artifact. You don't, I mean, in this deck, you want to. So, let's look at lands. We're going to roll through the, obviously, the dual color lands, because those are the dual color lands you would expect, except for, you know, minus the crazy expensive junk. Oh, Tainted Owl. Gotta have that. Now, the 3 artifact lands are in there in case we need to get them back or in case we need to sack them, but more importantly, Cranial Extraction. That's why they're in there. Phyrexia's Core is a sack outlet, and the Buried Ruin sacks itself to go get an artifact. And of course, there's Terramorphic and Evolving Wilds and Transguild Promenade. That is what I've got for Silas Renn, the not very Sith Lord. I do appreciate y'all watching. Like I said before, I know at this point I did the video a couple days ago, but from where I'm sitting, I did it this morning. Support your local game store. Arena's a blast, but you can't meet people there if they don't have Friday Night Magic, and most importantly, you cannot play Commander. Yet. So, I want to thank everybody. Especially want to thank the patrons and thank all of y'all that nominated me for the Content Creator Awards. Thank you so much. But I think right now, well, right now the wife is standing beside me, and so I think it is most definitely time to shuffle and cut.